Coming up on TPI.
While I was sliding before I went unconscious, I saw my life, and I knew right before everything went black that I was going to die.
Welcome back. Now imagine this. One moment, you're riding your motorcycle down the street, and the next, you wake up with shattered bones, a collapsed lung, and your face is split open. That's what happened to the man in our next story. Take a look.
My lifestyle was pretty good. It was about who has what. Not chasing the Joneses, but being the Jones. You know, having things that were flashy, you know, that made you stand out. I started to believe that I was a reason that we had it all. I was doing talent shows, I had recording studios, I had nightclub. You know, these kind of things were there, and they were making money. I would buy a motorcycle because I wanted it. So at that time, I think I had two. I had two at that time. I had a cruiser, a Goldwing Cruiser, and I had a crotch rocket. So one morning, I have three sons, and one morning we were getting up to take my middle son to a gymnastics competition. And so I had to warm the bikes up. So I warmed the first bike up. You know, I didn't put any gear on or anything. Everything was fine. Brought it back, put it in the garage. And then something hit me, something touched me and said, you know, you really need to put on your shield of armor. You need to get all of your gear on. You know, that included my steel toes, my metal suit, you know, my turtle shell for my back, my helmet, the glasses, everything that I thought I needed, the gloves. And I would never, ever do that. You know, this isn't something that I do. I'll just take the bike up, warm it up, and come back. I got on the motorcycle, went down the road, took the way that I would normally go to warm these bikes up, came from beneath the bridge, and there was an officer there. You know, I'm laying into the bike, and when you come from under this bridge, there's people on the bridge coming off the bridge, right? So you come from them and they merge together. So I'm coming around, and there's cars speeding down off of the bridge. One speeding down, I'm speeding from under, and there's a cop coming out to give someone a ticket for speeding coming off of the bridge. That's when I went down on my motorcycle. They said I skidded about 280, 300 yards. While I was sliding before I went unconscious, I saw my life, and something said to me right then and there that I was going to die. I knew right before everything went black that I was going to die. So the result of that accident came into 3 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, surgery on my knees, skin all tore up. Everything I had on was tore up. The boots, the steel boots, I mean, ripped apart. My helmet, my face split open. I should not be here. I mean, I was literally chalked out as being dead. Someone heard me moan, so they flew in a helicopter. I coded again on a helicopter, and I coded again at the hospital. Right, so that's 3 times. I'm in the hospital. I do remember coming conscious and pulling the tube out because they didn't tie my hands down. So I managed to pull the tube out. You know, the one thing that had me breathing. God inflated my lung. It wasn't collapsed then. It was, you know, it may not work then, but when that came out of there, my lung started functioning. So I was able to breathe.
So initially, when I got the call, I was taking a shower, so I missed the call. And when I got out of the shower, I checked caller ID and I saw that it was his phone. So when I called his phone back, a lady answered the phone. And almost immediately, I felt like something was wrong. And she told me that they were in the process of airlifting him to Christiana Hospital. And so I asked, I said, is he alive? And she said, for the moment, ma'am, all I can tell you is that he's conscious. You know, I had one of two things I can do: lose it or take control of things and get to the hospital. You know, I'm feeling like I don't know what I'm gonna see, but it's gonna be okay.
I had to think about what I just put my family through. We're talking about a situation of being fatherless. In a lot of cases, I think about children that are fatherless. And mothers are great, don't get me wrong. Mothers have been there from the beginning of time to handle things. But I truly believe that a father plays a part in that life. You know, you bring him up in a strong way. And I hated the idea that I created a situation that I would have deprived them of something that was so deserving. But my God said, it's not going to be that way. My message that I received then was, it was about, I'm not done with you yet. So as Clint Chef Bones Harris, I'm able to do things a little different. I'm able to minister great things to the multitude of people. And I'm doing that through my food. I mean, my first year, we did over 39,400 plus customers. Feeding the multitude with food and just a little word in there to say, you know, thank you for blessing us, because that's what you are. You're truly a blessing. You're here before us, eating our food. You're allowing us to continue here. You know, for each person that steps away from you, there can be many that step away from you. So I don't take it for granted for those folks that are in front of us. I mean, for instance, I was telling you before how there's sometimes we will stop and we will just pray inside the restaurant. You know how amazing that is, to have a restaurant full of people just stop and receive prayer, you know, whether or not it's someone else that's ministering or just because. When you get home, you're going inside. It is an awesome feeling. And it seems to spread because people continue to come. We were only looking at 30 to 40 orders a day to make the books work. He put me on a platform that supersedes that, you know, and I'm so thankful for it, you know, and it's been something that he has blessed us with, and that's people coming in.
You know, God can put you on a platform that can supersede anything you could ever dream of. Not only does God heal, but he also restores and he blesses 10 times over. Think back to Clint's story. And before he got on his motorcycle, he heard a still small voice telling him, put on your whole armor. Obeying that voice ended up saving his life. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 30, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. You see, God was watching over Clint the entire time, and he's watching over you